Kindiki should just deal with the bandits. Awachane na hecklers.
Aende huko Baringo.
Aende Baringo akae huko deal na bandits.
Yeah, because in fact, that was his designation. Remember, the president told him, Usirudi kaa huko.
Yes.
Did you listen to the Hot Breakfast this morning? Here's what you missed.
If it's Tuesday, it's all about the docket, and in the house, as always, on time, Edwin Obuya shows up wearing classic blue. I know he's heading to Parliament later on. And Philip Murto, good to see you back here again, my brother.
Thank you, bro.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you.
And there's a job opening in a county called Kisii. They're looking for deputy governor.
Yes.
This is the worst time, Jeff. It is the worst time for anyone to come to Senate for an impeachment kind of motion.
Because you're going home.
You will go home. This is the season of they say bipartisan.
Yes.
This is a bipartisan season.
You know when Baba is around.
Don't joke.
When Baba is around, there are people who will oppose everything just because Baba is around.
Right.
Yeah?
But once he leaves,
You're exposed.
Once he leaves, now you're exposed. but the Kisii story was a funny one.
it was hilarious.
Hilarious, actually, and it just talks about how lowly the family has fallen as a unit, because the main witness for the assembly, Dennis,
Yes.
came there and said, I gave money, I gave my money 500,000 and through M-Pesa, and there are messages you can show. They sent to the deputy governor, and he took 300 cash. But now the father comes and says, no. That was my money. And then the brother also is in the opposite camp. He's saying, impeach this guy. Because the brother apparently he cut some tree in the village, and the deputy governor said kanjos to him, and he was inside.
A lot of pettiness going on in that family.
And then he was inside for 24 hours. And the brother who is the immediate follower to the deputy governor said, no, you can't treat me like this. You have to go home.
And then he had some AP officers working for him at home, cooking dog food,
milking cows.
and milking cows.
You're playing with... Those are some of the accusations.
Yes.
What is going on in Kisii?
It was hilarious. Apart from the fact that it just showed how family has fallen, the whole case was just hilarious, and we were laughing about it all through. But this is a case that he was impeached not because he stole billions of monies, or because it's just because of the morals, and it showed that the guy then is proved that he sent money, whether the money was his or not, but he sent the money. There was that paper trail. There was M-Pesa messages showing, I sent money, and then the deputy governor, instead of, he received 500,000, then 300,000 cash, then he only gave out 100,000 to the person who was supposed to be giving the job.
If anyone in those county assemblies where there is trouble thought of coining a motion like this one that has seen Monda out of office and brought it to the Senate right now, in this period, I think those people are in trouble. Whoever will come before the Senate right now will be in trouble. And then I think also the Senate also found a way of being objective about this one. If they had gone the tribunal way,
the committee way,
maybe Monda would have managed to see
a few
these people aside, and then these things would have been sorted out. But the moment they refused the idea of the committee, but I think a lot of these senators had insights of what was ailing Kisii County in the office of the deputy governor.
So watch out.
Watch out.
Right? Last week they were saying they'll limit them to 22. Then I think Calligraph Loans had a small chat with them.
And they said,
don't limit me.
Don't limit me.
And then we have a whole list of some. In fact, last week we were talking about the deputy head of mission to Uganda is a former
CAS
nominee.
The guy who can express himself.
Yes.
Could that be the next stop for Monda?
No, that is a public office. And a public office, once you are impeached, you can't hold that office and at least for 10 years. That's why Sonko is not...
you see how he's wallowing out there.
Sonko has not been mentioned anywhere, despite the fact that he was very close to the establishment.
And he still tweets about them.
Yes, and he's still very bitter about Uhuru and what he did to him, making him be impeached. That's why you see YT to try to be appointed to move the river from but someone went to court and said no, this guy was impeached, so
how does he become the chair of the commission?
Yes.
In charge of such
being impeached is it has some very serious repercussions. It might not be a legal issue 100% per se, because it's both legal and political, but once you are better off resigning than being impeached, because once you are impeached, then it has those repercussions that you can't hold a public office at least for 10 years.
Speaking of politics, guys, I understand we can't heckle anymore in public.
Yeah.
But they're very specific on areas, because
no.
after Kericho going that side, you can't bring such rules. They'll read you the right and say the purpose of.
But let me ask you. If I can heckle when the president is looking at me in the eye,
yes.
What makes you think a directive from Kindiki to go arrest a few of us will make us keep quiet? And you may want to say that these guys were paid from the different warring camps to come and do this. But let me tell you, there are things happening in these counties that people no longer need to be paid to come and say, please take that nonsense out. There are a lot of
loans.
So you will arrest the few that you think masterminded the Kericho Bomet heckling.
Would that solve anything?
That will not solve anything. If the same problems are still with the people, you go there tomorrow and you still want Barchok to address, they will still tell him, no, we do not want to listen to you.
I think that's democracy. Kindiki should just deal with the bandits. Awachane na Hecklers. Aende Baringo akae huko adili na bandits.
Yeah, in fact, that was his designation. Remember, the president told him, Usirudi
kaa huko.
Yes. So hata hii mambo ingine pombe sijui nini, just deal with
angewachia tu Gaishagwa Rigiji maneno ya focus ku bandits.
Speaking of which, Rigiji said that all his salary goes towards fighting drinking of alcohol, and even the 200 million that he forfeited, all of it he has given to fighting drug consumption.
You must know Rigiji is in a very hot place. You know for him to even start saying mimi hata kama hii deputy kama hii kiti itaenda kwa sababu ya pombe, for someone like Rigiji to start even making such statements, this is someone who has he can
as a country we must decide if we want to be a democracy or
a dictatorial,
because
we don't want more days.
We don't want that.
More days.
It is, what crime would I have done to heckle? Because it's my right to express. The Constitution gives me that right, that I have a right of expression.
Especially when Kaunda Uongo man says something and you're like, that one is allowed.
And I'm not in anyone's office. This is a public place. This is an open public space.
You're allowed to say Uyo ni Uongo.
Yes.
So
akifinya computer dola itoke
makosa gani hiyo sasa nikisema ni uongo na nimefinya haijatoka.
Kindiki should focus on where problems are. He should focus on making sure that we have passports in the least time possible. He should focus on making sure that the bandits menace is dealt with. He should focus on where issues are.
The heckle babas sometimes.
Yes. Jeff can decide to remove gas here. It's bad manners, but it's
what kind of example? This is a respectable old man. He holds it in, it comes out as belt. Which is still bad manners.
I am very tempted.
Somebody say, oh my.
What a fart.
So Kindiki should just put his energies where they are needed.
Go and deal with bandits.
Yes.
I'm glad he was in Bungoma yesterday. That is my home county, and he said he's going to operationalize the immigration office there, at least on that passport front. My people, he has said he was there yesterday. He said, we wait to see.
So your people can go where now from Bungoma?
No, he said Bungoma will get passports from Bungoma. So we wait to see how this will be practical. So at least he's trying. There he didn't go there to tell us stories of alcohol.
Right.
Of course, but he finished with the alcohol stories. Right now, I think all government officials, whenever they go in where the president is or the deputy is, they will want to be relevant. So they will have to mention something to do with the vita ya kupigana na pombe haramu, so that they get a soundbite or something like that, you know. Sometimes they just want to get a soundbite.
True.
But it is not that they mean what they say.
No.
You know.
No.
So hata your passport,
tutaona.
Tuleka upsound alipata.
Na mutaenda wapi? Saudi Arabia au mutaenda wapi? Hizo passports.
Bungoma to Uganda is just around the corner.
Ama ende inaitwa Kaptakalege ama huko
Kaptengele.
kwenye wanafinya
computer.
Hey guys, the doctors are still on strike or not strike or what? Half a strike? What's striking?
Sad affair.
Yeah, very sad.
Sad affair. Some guys were expressing fears that we may witness one of those strikes like the one we had that lasted for 100 days, which would be very unfortunate. I think doctors are reading a lot of bad faith, a lot of mischief from the government. This is from the experience they've had with the government. If we are talking about a CBA, collective bargaining agreement
That's
of
7
2017,
years old, yes.
Yeah, and then you're coming to the table without any commitment on what you agreed upon, but you want these people to imagine something will happen, so they go back to work. We know they hold a very sacred job. That going on strike would mean losing lives in hospitals and stuff like that. But I think we need to support doctors.
When my grandmother in Bohalalire goes to hospital, public hospital, because that's what she can afford,
yeah.
and finds that there's no doctor and lives are lost, that's when you realize that this thing is serious. And this is a point where I would want the president to come out and take charge of what is happening, because health is a very, very serious docket. For them to be thinking of taking 2.75% of my gross salary, and the doctors are on strike, it just shows you how mismanaged this thing is. Because why can't you deal with the doctors first? If you want universal health can't be there without a doctor. Just deal with what doctors are saying, because in 2022 December, I think the courts ruled that the government had 60 days to start paying the CBA. It's been now almost two years down the line. They have not been paid anything. A simple issue like posting interns.
Nahumisha says there's no money.
The money counties are using comes from the national government, right?
Yeah.
So I do not know what money do they not have when it comes to dealing with very serious issues like paying doctors,
and yet they can travel,
employing more doctors so that people don't suffer.
Yeah.
Yet they can travel. Some spending more than what they can generate as on-source revenue.
Health is devolved; it goes to counties, but the money is counties. The money is that is remaining at the national level for health. We are talking about 180 something billion shillings each and every financial year. Counties only get 360. I think they have been allocated 390 something in this financial year,
yeah.
And that they are supposed to do all the things in all the functions with that money. And so a huge chunk of money that is meant for health remains at the national level. Why can't they devolve that money so that the counties then deal with the issues? Because the fact is that health has improved significantly since devolution came. And so I think Nahumicha and President Ruto, for that matter, must take charge and find a solution, because hawezi kuwa unanikata 2.75% ya kwenda gross, alafu nikienda OC
hakuna
daktari, nikienda OC sipati madawa. Why would they then be? I will only conclude that nakatwa pesa ndio iende kwa mfuko ya mtu.
From history, from how government deals with this, they will resort to the arrests that we saw we've seen in the past.
Called
Oluga, yeah. We may see coercion, victimization, which will be so unfortunate. But lately, unions such as KMPDU and such are not easily pushed,
Yeah.
And whenever they say kwa Kiswahili fahali wawili wakipigana
ni nyasi
ndio umia.